The warning came through hyperspace channels like a whisper of doom. Admiral Rex Kane stood before the massive viewscreen of the Galactic Council's command station, watching as the sensor readings painted an impossible picture across the star. "Charts. Confirm the readings," Kane ordered, his weathered face grave. The technician's fingers danced across holographic displays, recalibrating instruments that had monitored the Sol system for 3 centuries. "Confirmed, Admiral. The energy signature is unmistakable. Something massive is emerging from Earth's northern polar region." Kane's jaw tightened. Earth, the forgotten backwater planet that had supposedly exhausted itself in primitive wars centuries ago. The Galactic Council had classified it as a dead world, its inhabitants barely capable of leaving their own atmosphere. Yet now, something was stirring beneath the ice. On Earth, Captain Maya Torres felt the rumble first. Deep beneath the Arctic ice sheet, in a facility that officially didn't exist, emergency klaxons began their haunting wail. She sprinted through corridors that had been sealed for 200 years, her boots echoing against metal that gleamed despite its age. "Status report," she barked into her communicator. "Hull integrity at 100%, Captain," came the reply from her chief engineer, Tom Bradley. "All systems are coming online. The hibernation protocols are disengaging." Torres reached the bridge and gasped. Through the massive viewports, she could see ice cracking and splitting as something enormous pushed upward from the depths. The used Prometheus was awakening all 15 kilometers of her. The Supercarrier had been humanity's greatest secret, built in the dying days of the resource wars, when Earth's governments finally understood that survival meant looking beyond their world. While the surface burned with conflict, the best minds worked in hidden facilities, pouring their knowledge into a vessel that would carry their species to the stars. But the wars had ended too soon. Peace negotiations succeeded where weapons had failed, and the Prometheus was sealed away, waiting for a day that never came. Until now, above the ice, the first alien scouts materialized. The hegemony's sleek vessels descended through Earth's atmosphere like silver daggers, their commanders confident in their superiority. Admiral Voss, leader of the expeditionary force, studied the readings with amusement. "A single vessel," he mused to his aide. "These humans managed to build one ship and think themselves ready for the galaxy." His confidence evaporated when the ice finally gave way. The Prometheus rose like a titan from the depths, water cascading from her hull in torrents. Her surface was a masterwork of human engineering angular armor plates that could deflect plasma fire, launch bays that could house entire fleets, and weapon systems that drew power from cores that burned hotter than stars. But it wasn't just her size that made the galaxy tremble. It was what she represented. Torres stood on the bridge, her hand steady on the command console, despite the magnitude of the moment. Around her, the crew worked with precision born of endless training simulations. They had been chosen from the best humanity had to offer, their minds enhanced with neural interfaces that allowed them to think and react faster than any biological being should. "Incoming transmission from the alien vessels," reported her communications officer, Lisa Park. "Put them through." Admiral Voss's image appeared on the screen, his reptilian features twisted with what humans might interpret as a sneer. "Primitive vessel, you will surrender immediately and submit to hegemony authority. Your species has been designated for integration into our labor force." Torres smiled, and something in that expression made Voss step back. "Admiral, I believe there's been a misunderstanding. We're not surrendering. We're going to show you why humanity earned their place among the stars." The first exchange of fire lasted exactly 7 seconds. The hegemony's plasma cannons struck the Prometheus's shields and scattered like raindrops on steel. In response, the Supercarrier's weapons systems activated with surgical precision. Railguns that could punch through asteroid belts spoke in thunderous voices, while directed energy weapons painted the sky with lines of pure destruction. When the light faded, the hegemony fleet was gone. Word spread through the galaxy faster than light itself. The dead world had awakened, and its children were not the cowering primitives the Council had expected. They were something far worse. They were human. Captain Torres opened a channel to the Galactic Council's emergency frequency. Kane's face appeared on screen, his expression carefully neutral despite the chaos erupting around him. "Admiral Kane, I presume," Torres said pleasantly. "I'm Captain Torres of the United Earthship Prometheus. I believe we need to discuss humanity's membership in your council." Kane swallowed hard. Behind him, reports flooded in from across the galaxy. The humans hadn't just built one ship, they had built dozens. Hidden facilities on Luna, Mars, and the asteroids were opening like flowers in spring, revealing a fleet that had been waiting centuries for this moment. "What do you want?" Kane asked. "Recognition," Torres replied simply. "A seat at the table. And perhaps most importantly, assurance that Earth and her colonies will be left in peace." Kane looked at the tactical displays surrounding him. The human fleet was moving with coordination that suggested planning beyond anything the Council had imagined. Their technology was different, not more advanced, but engineered with a brutal efficiency that spoke of a species that had learned to fight for survival. "The Council will convene," he said finally. Torres nodded. "We'll be waiting, Admiral, but not for long." The transmission ended, leaving Kane staring at a galaxy that had suddenly become far more dangerous. Humanity had risen from their cradle, world, and they had brought with them the one thing that had always set them apart from the civilized species of the galaxy. They had brought war.